Hello friends, welcome back to our YouTube channel Nimbus Learning. Okay, so as you all know that NIC released a various huge amount vacancies for the scientist B post and technical assistant post, okay, for the computer science graduates or electronics and communication graduates, and for MCA, MSc in computer science, MPhil in computer science, or MSc in electronics and communication. So all these candidates can apply for this post, okay. So that's why we are here to provide you the online live classes, So Ingenious Academy or Nimbus Learning is the first platform that is providing online live classes for those posts, okay, for those posts, okay. So I am Pankaj Mishra. I will take three subjects here: computer network, compiler and computer architecture. So your success is our success, your success is Nimbus Learning success or Ingenious Academy success. So this institute fully dedicated for the your success, okay. So we will start each and every subject from the very basic, okay, and we will go to the top, okay. So in this way I am going to start what? Computer network. So before starting computer network, so you need to register first yourself by visiting nimbus.org.in, okay. And if you are facing any problem during the registration, then you can call on this number 809444199, okay, for any query. Fine. So I am going to start computer network. I am going to start what? Computer network. So I will start from very basic, okay. So the first computer network was what? ARPANET, okay. The first computer network was ARPANET. What? ARPANET, okay. That comes in 1970. That comes in 1970 with the help of TCP/IP protocol model. With the help of TCP/IP protocol model. So the person that proposed that that term, okay. So who was that great person? That great person was a scientist, Leonarch. That great person was a scientist, Leonarch, that proposed that term in his research paper that is entitled information flow, that is entitled information flow in large communication networks, okay, in his research paper in 1961. In 1961, so after that research paper, Defense of United States started a project, okay, and the name of that project is what? ARPA. And the name of that project is what? ARPA, okay. So what is the full form of ARPA? Here is advanced, R for research, P for project, and A for what? Agency. A for what? Agency, okay. So in 1970 ARPANET came, okay, and ends in 1990, after that internet came, okay. After 1990 internet came into picture, okay. So this is history of the computer network, okay. So first we can we imagine our life without computer network? So answer is what? No, because on a single click whatever we want, okay, we can access, okay. If we want Ola, Uber, then we can do a single click on the mobile phones, okay. If we want food, then through the single click we can get, okay. So why computer network needed, okay. So I am going to give you an example. Suppose we have a device A, here, and in that device a process P1 is going on, and we have another device, what? Device B, and here is also another process is going on, that is called what? P2, P2. So to provide the inter-process communication, between these two devices, the environment is needed, whatever environment is needed, that environment is going to provide by computer network, that environment is going to provide by computer network. Okay, so that's why we needed computer network. Okay, so this is the need of the computer network. So the very basic term in the computer network is what? Data communication is what? So I am going to start the subject data communication. What? Data communication. So data communication is what? Data communication is used for sharing or exchanging the information or data between two devices. Data communication is what? Sharing or exchanging the data between two devices, and this data communication can be two types. First one is what? Local data communication. Okay. And second one is what? Remote data communication. What? Remote data communication. Fine. So when data communication is local, when two devices, okay, is within the building or within the organization, then communication between these two devices is called what? Local data communication. Okay, and when the devices takes place over the distance, when the devices takes place over the distance, then that type of communication is called what? Remote data communication. Then that type of communication is called what? Remote data communication. So the another term is what? Data flow modes. Another term is what? Data flow modes. Okay, so from this concept they asked questions sometimes. Okay, so as we know that data communication is used for sharing or exchanging the information between two devices. Okay, so based on the data movement, we can divide the data flow into three types. We can divide the data flow into three types based on the movement of the data between these two devices. Okay, so what are these three data flow modes? First one is what? Simplex mode. Second one is what? Half duplex mode. And the third one is what? Full duplex mode. Third one is what? Full duplex mode. Sometimes they ask question from data flow modes. Okay, very basic concept. So what is simplex mode? What is simplex mode? So in simplex mode we need two device. Okay, we need what? Two device, as we know that data communication is possible between two devices. Okay, so in simplex mode one device can send the data, it is not able to receive the data, and the another device can only receive the data, it is not able to send the data. Okay, so you can understand like this. Okay, so what are the examples for the simplex mode? So you can understand like this. We have a device A here, so we can consider it what? Mainframe. Mainframe means what? Server. And here we have a device B, that is monitor. That is what? Monitor. So as I told you, server can send the data. Okay, it cannot able to receive the data, and monitor can receive the data, it is not able to send the data to the server. Okay, so this type of communication comes under simplex mode. So what is the examples? What are the examples for the simplex mode? So input from the keyboard to the monitor, input from the keyboard to the monitor is the example of the simplex mode, because as we know that keyboard cannot able to take the input, okay, from the monitor. So input from keyboard to monitor is the example of simplex mode. There is another example was TV broadcasting, another example was radio broadcasting. So these examples comes under simplex mode and comes under simplex mode. So what is half duplex? What is half duplex mode? So in half duplex mode both the devices are able to send and receive the data over the network. Both the devices are able to send and receive the data over the network, but at a time, not simultaneously. Means if one device is sending the data, then it is not able to receive the data at that time. Okay, so in half duplex both the devices are able to send and receive the data but at a time not simultaneously. You can understand like this, you can understand like this. This is a device A, this is what device A, and this is what device B, this is what device B, okay, and these two devices connected through a communication link or interface medium, okay. So this device, if this device is sending the data, then it is not able to receive the data, okay. If this device is sending the data, then it is not able to receive the data, okay. So both the devices can send and receive the data, but at a time not simultaneously, okay. So what are the examples for the half duplex mode? Various times I saw the questions from the half duplex mode in PSUs or competitive exams, okay. So what are the example for half duplex mode? The best example is walkie talkie. Best example is what? Walkie talkie. In walkie talkie, when one person speaks and when it say over, then another person can speak, okay. So walkie talkie is an example of half duplex mode, and the question is like this: railway track is an example of which data flow modes? This types of question they can ask. Railway track is an example of which types of data flow modes? They cannot ask the question directly from you, okay. So railway track is an example of which types of data flow modes? It is an example of half duplex mode. It is an example of half duplex mode because as you know that on a track at a time only one train can come, okay. If at a time from both the sides trains will come, then train will what? Collide. Train will what? Collide, okay. So this is not possible. So railway track is an example of what? Half duplex mode. Railway track is an example of half duplex mode. So let us see what is full duplex mode. So in full duplex mode, both the devices can send and receive the data simultaneously. Both the devices can send and receive the data simultaneously. You can understand like this. This is a device A, and this is what? Device B. This is what? Device B, okay. And these devices are connected through a communication link, okay. So as I told you, both devices can send and receive the data simultaneously, okay. So the best example for the full duplex mode is what? Telephone system. Is what? Telephone system. So we will practice lot of questions during the classes, okay. So definitely success will come, okay. So this is all about data flow modes. This is all about what? Data flow modes. Fine. So let us start. What is network? What is what? Network. What is what? Network, okay. So network is what? Set of linking devices. Set of linking devices, and device may be anything, and the device may be anything like your palm top, your laptop, your mobile phone, which can send and receive the data over the network, which can send and receive the data over the network. So I am repeating again, okay. A set of linking devices. Set of what? Linking devices, okay, and device may be anything, device may be anything that can send and receive the information, send and receive the information over the network, over the what? Network, over the what? Network. So you can consider it like this: we have devices and each and every device connected with each other in the network. So this is what? This is what? Computer network. This is what? A small network in which 4 devices are connected, okay. So network, based on the geographical area, we can divide the network into 3 types. Based on the geographical area, we can divide the network into 3 types. First one is what? LAN, that is also known as what? Local area network. Second one is what? MAN, that is known as what? Metropolitan area network. And third one is what? WAN, that is known as what? Wide area network, okay. So LAN is what? LAN is a local area network. So as you know that LAN is a privately owned network. LAN is a what? Privately owned network. or LAN is a that type of network that we can build within a building or within the organization, that we can build within a building or within the organization. So to form a LAN, we have some private IP addresses. Okay, so with the help of those private IP addresses, we can build a LAN within the building or within the organization. Okay, so we will talk about the IP addresses later. So what are these private IP addresses range? So I am going to give you the range of private IP addresses through which we can make what? Local area network. Okay, as you saw in your college, there is a intranet. Means there is a local area network, and that intranet started from these IP addresses. Okay, so what are the range of these IP addresses? 10.0.0.02, 10.255.255.255. okay, another range is what? 192.168.0.0 to 192.168.255.255, and the another range is what? 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255. so we can use any range of the private IP address, okay, to build what? LAN, local area network. Okay, so this is known as what? Internet also. This is known what? Internet also. And what about the MAN? What about the MAN? So MAN is known as what? Metropolitan area network. Metropolitan area network. So the geographical area of MAN is larger from the LAN, but smaller from the WAN, smaller from the wide area network. Okay, or you can say that MAN is in between LAN and WAN. Okay, so if anyone wants a high speed connectivity internet, okay, so he or she can access that high speed internet through the MAN with the help of internet service provider, okay. So if we want to connect two or more than two devices, okay, that is residing within the same city or different city, we can connect with the help of what? MAN. Okay, fine. So this is what? Extranet. This is your extranet. What is WAN? Okay, so WAN understands what? Wide area network. As I told you, we will start from the very basics, so all concept will clear. Okay, so WAN is what? Wide area network. Okay, so the geographical area of WAN is very large. Okay, you can send whatever you want to send and receive over the internet or over the worldwide. Okay, so geographical area of this WAN is very large. Okay, so this is known as what? Internet. This is known as what? Internets. So these are the categories of network. Okay, you can categorize a network into three: network, LAN, MAN and WAN. Okay, so this is all about the network and types of network. Okay, so another term is what? Another term, how we can certify that our network is a good network or our network is working good. Okay, so to certify a network, we have three basic criteria through which we can check the network is working good or bad. Okay, so what are these three criteria? First one is what? Performance. Second one is what? Reliability. Sometimes they ask question from this concept also. And third one is what? Security. So how we can measure a performance of the network? Okay, the very first question is this. So as we know that performance is a what? Indirect parameter. We cannot able to measure the performance of any network directly. Okay, so to measure the performance of the network, we have two direct parameter. Through which we can measure the performance of the network. And what are these two direct parameters through which we can measure the performance of the network? First one is what? Transmission time. Okay, and the second one is what? Response time. Okay, second one is what? Response time. So what is transmission time? the time taken by a masses, to travel from one node to another node, or you can say that from one device to another device in the network is called what? Transmission time. I am going to repeat, okay. So transmission time is what? The time that is taken by a masses to travel from one node to another node or from one device to another device in the network is called what? Transmission time. Is called what? Transmission time. So when transmission time is less, then performance is what? High of the network, and when the transmission time is more, okay, then the performance of the network is what? Less, okay. And what is response time? The time between request and response, okay, is called what? The response time, or sometime it is called what? Elapsed time. So what you can say that performance of the network is inversely proportional to transmission time, okay, or response time. When the transmission time or response time will less, then performance is what? High. When the transmission time or response time is more, then performance of the network is what? Less, okay. So they sometimes ask question from the performance criteria, okay, in various PSUs or in various competitive exams, okay. Second criteria is what? Reliability. So how we can measure the reliability of the network, okay. Suppose we have a network and it gets failure due to some conditions like power failure, link breakage, okay, weather conditions. So how much time it is going to recover? From the failure, through which we can measure the reliability of the network. If it is going to take less time from recover to the failure, then reliability of the network is what? High, okay. And the second case is what? If it is going to take more time from recover to the failure, then reliability of the network is what? Less. Okay. And the third and important parameter is what? Important criteria of the network is what? Security. So security in network is used to protect our data from the unauthorized access or damage, okay. So security is an important criteria. So through these criteria we can certify the network, means it is a working good or bad, okay. So these are the three criteria through which we can certify the network, okay. Fine. So to connect the devices in the network, okay, we need type of connection. We need what? Connection. So in computer network we have two types of connection. We have how many types of connection? Two types of connection that we needed to connect the devices with each other, okay. So second is what? Type of connection. Various times I saw the question from this concept also. Type of connection, these are the very basics, okay. So type of connection can be two types, okay, between the devices. First one is what? Point to point connection, and second one is what? Multi-point connection, So first we need to understand what is point to point connection. Suppose we have two devices, this is a device A and this is a device A and this is device B, okay, and here is a communication link between these two devices, okay. So when this link, okay, is fully dedicated, to carry the data between these two devices only, okay, then that type of connection is called what? Point to point connection. Okay. And what is multi-point connection? Okay. So suppose we have a link, okay, and on that link we connected various devices, okay, connected, okay, fine. So that type of links which is responsible to carry the data of all the devices, the link which is responsible to carry the data all the devices that is connected to that link that is connected to that link, then that type of connection is called what? Multi-point connection. So where we can see the example of multi-point connection in bus topology, we can see the connection of multi-point, okay, because in bus topology we have a single cable that is known as the backbone cable, and through the backbone cable we connect various devices. So in bus topology you see the multi-point, you can see the multi-point connection, okay. So this is all about the type of connection. This is all about the type of connection in computer network that we needed to connect the devices between each other, okay. So as we know that without protocol data communication is not possible, okay. So second and the next topic or important topic is what? Protocols. What? Protocol, okay. So what is protocol? So protocol is a set of rules that governs what? Data communication. Protocol is what? Set of rules that govern what? Data communication. That govern what? Data communication. So the very first question is that how it can govern the data, okay. So to govern the data communication, protocols uses three basic elements. Protocol also uses what? Three basic elements. What are these three basic elements? So first one is what? Syntax. Second one is what? Semantics. And the third one is what? Timings. And the third one is what? Timings. Fine. So these are the three basic elements through which protocol govern what? Data communication. Through which protocol governs data communication. So what syntax will tell you? Syntax will give you the structure and format. The structure and format of the data means you are going to use audio, video or text data, okay. So this will tell you what? Syntax. This will tell you what? Syntax, okay. And what about the semantics? What about the semantics? So semantics will give you the meaning of each and every bit in data, okay. Semantics will give you what? Semantics will give you the meaning of each and every bit in the data or of the data. So data is what? Data is a binary sequence. Data is a binary sequence that is associated with a bitting factor, okay. So what is third one? Third one element is what? Timings. So timing will perform two things. Timing element of the protocol perform two things. First one is what? When the data should be sent. When the data should be sent, okay. And second one is what? How fast data should be sent. And second one is what? How fast data should be sent. How fast data should be sent. So these are the three basic elements through which protocols governs what? Data communication, okay. So from the protocols various times question asked in GATE or PSUs or other competitive exams, okay. So protocols also divides in two categories. Protocols also divides into two categories, okay. Protocols also divides into two categories. First one is what? First one is what? Stateful protocol. Stateful protocol. And the second one is what? Stateless protocol. What? Stateless protocol, okay. So we need to understand what is stateful protocol and what is stateless protocol, okay. So when client sends a request to the server, okay, and server needs to respond that request immediately. If server is not going to respond that request immediately, then client will send the request again. Client will send the request again, okay. So in stateless protocol, stateful protocol or under the stateful protocol, we have various protocols like first one is what? FTP, okay. Second one is what? Telnet. Third one is what? POP3. okay, and the fourth one is what? And fourth one is what? IMAP. Fourth one is what? IMAP. Okay. So I am going to repeat again. When client, what is stateful protocol? When client sends a request to the server and server needs to respond that request immediately. If server is not going to respond that request immediately, okay, response of that request immediately, then client will send the request again. Okay. So why FTP comes into stateful protocol? So as we know that FTP is what? File transfer protocol. FTP is what? File transfer protocol. That protocol is used to transfer the file or data from one computer to another computer, or you can say that from one network to another network. Okay. So that's why it comes stateful protocol. FTP is used to download or transfer the file from one device to another device, from one computer to another computer. Okay. What is telnet? What is telnet? Telnet is what? Terminal network. The abbreviation of telnet is what? Terminal network. So this protocol is used to connect. This protocol is used to connect local computer to the remote computer. Local computer to the remote computer. Okay. What about POP3? POP3, why it comes stateful protocol? Okay. So POP3 is what? Post Office Protocol version 3, and this is what? IMAP understands what? Internet Message Access Protocol. So both the protocols are used to download the email from the email server. Both the protocols are used to download the emails from the email server, but there is a basic difference between POP3 and IMAP. We will discuss these protocols later in detail. Okay. So what are that basic difference? So POP does not allows you to see the content of the message before downloading that message or email from your desktop, on your desktop. Okay. So POP, I am going to repeat again, POP does not allow you to see the content of the message before downloading that message on your desktop. Okay. But that advanced feature is in where? Is in IMAP, is in Internet Message Access Protocol. So Internet Message Access Protocol adds that feature. Okay. So what is that feature? Internet Message Access Protocol allows you to see the content of the message before downloading the message on your desktop, but it does not allow to see the content of the message before downloading that message on your desktop. Okay. So this is the basic difference between POP3 and IMAP. So we will discuss these protocols in details later. Okay. So what is stateless protocol? Okay. So as I told you, in stateful protocol, server needs to respond the request immediately. If it is not responding, if server is not responding the request, okay, then client will send the request again. But what is in stateless protocol? When client sends a request, then server will respond that request, okay, response of that request according to their current state. According to their current state means do not need to respond the request response immediately. Okay. So this is what stateless protocol. This is what stateless protocol. So some protocols comes under this category. So what are these protocols? First one is what? HTTP. This is what? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Second one is what? UDP. Okay. And second one is what? UDP and etc. So these types of protocols comes under stateless protocol. So what is the full form of abbreviation of HTTP? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And Hypertext Transfer Protocol is used to access anything from the word byte. To access anything from the word byte. Okay. And this is the UDP, and we will discuss later in detail. Okay. So these are the stateful protocol and stateless protocol. So various times in GATE they ask the question from this point, or in various competitive exams they ask the question from this point. Okay. So we need to understand, remember all these types of the protocols. Okay. So this is all about the protocols. So they can ask you the question, from the protocols like this. So they can give you the question like this, okay, which of the following protocols H/R stateful application protocol, stateful what? Application protocol, okay. So they can give you the like this, HTTP, second one is what? POP3, third one is what? IMAP, okay, fourth one is what? They can give you DNS, domain name system, okay, and fifth one is what? They can give you what? Telnet, and sixth one is what? FTP. So which protocols belongs to stateful application protocol? POP3 yes, HTTP not, this is a stateless protocol, okay. IMAP yes, okay. DNS no, this is what? Domain name system. So what is this protocol? Domain name system. So it is a type of computer server, it is a type of computer server, means DNS maintains a database, okay, of the domain names and their associated IP addresses, of the domain names and their associated IP addresses. So most of the time DNS is used to resolve the IP address from the given what? From the given domain name, So DNS belongs to stateless protocol, so that's why this is not a stateful protocol. Telnet yes, this is what a stateful protocol, and FTP yes, this is what a stateful protocol. So they can ask you the question like this, okay. So they can ask you the question like also this, okay, which one of the following pair. So we will discuss each and every protocol in details later, okay, and we will solve many questions, okay, that they asked in previous years also, or some new questions also. So when we will practice lot of questions, then definitely we will succeed, okay, or you will succeed, okay. So which one of the following pairs is used to send and retrieve the emails, retrieve the what? Emails. So they can give you the option, first option A, they can give you what? SMTP, comma FTP. Second option they can give you what? POP3, comma SMTP, and third option they can give you like this, SMTP, comma POP3, okay, and fourth option they can give you like this, none, okay. Emails respectively, you can add the word here respectively, okay. So to send any electronic mails, we use what? SMTP protocol, simple mail transfer protocol. So and to retrieve or download the emails from the email server, we use two protocols that I already told you, POP3 and IMAP, okay. So let's take the correct options, okay. So to send the email SMTP we will use, but to retrieve FTP is not going to use, okay, that's why option A is correct. It adds also a terms what? Respectively. So to send the message we use what? SMTP. So first here we need what? SMTP. So this is also wrong. So option C is saying you what? SMTP yes, to send the message electronic mail we use what? SMTP protocol, and to retrieve or download the email from the email server we use what? POP3. So that's why which option is correct? Option C is correct. So they can ask you the question like this also. So here I used what? SMTP. So I am going to explain SMTP. Various times they asked already questions, okay, in GATE or in PSUs also, okay, from the SMTP and commands of, based on the commands of SMTP, okay. So I am going to explain SMTP, okay. So later we will see the each protocols in details, okay. So don't worry, and practice also more and more questions, okay. So SMTP, I am going to explain what? SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol, So simple mail transfer protocol is used to send the electronic mail or email over the network, okay. So what commands it uses? Okay, so first command is what? Hello, not HELLO. First command is what? Hello, to start the conversation. Or you have the second option also, EHLO. EHLO. Okay, alternate command you have also of hello. Okay, what is the alternate command? EHLO. And the second command is what? Second command is what? From. Second command is what? From, means mail is coming from where. Okay, third command is what? RCPT, recept to. Okay, who is going to receive it. Okay, fourth command is what? Size of the message. Fifth command is what? Data. Sixth command is what? If we want to reset the message, then we can reset. Seventh command is what? To authenticate the message, there is a command AUTH. Eighth command is what? Okay, eighth command is what? If we need to explain, then EXPN. Okay, and the ninth command is what? Quit. And the 10th command is what? Help. Okay, so similar to this we have various commands of the SMTP. So various times they ask the question, okay, already in GATE or some PSUs I saw the questions from this topic based on the commands of SMTP, okay, in PSUs. So this is all about the SMTP. This is all about what? This is all about SMTP. Okay, so this is all about SMTP. So this is a demo class. So we will start, don't worry, we will start from very basic and we will go to the top. Okay, the concept, every concept will clear, your every concept will clear, okay, of the computer network, compiler and computer architecture. And we will practice, as I told you various times, we will practice lot of questions, new questions and already asked the questions, previous year questions of the scientist posts. Okay, okay, so if you want to join our live classes, then you need to visit nimbus.org.in. okay, or if you are facing any problem during the registration, then you can call 809444199. okay, so you can call on this number and whatever is your query you can ask. Okay, so this is a golden opportunity for you all students who completed their BTech, MTech, MS, MPhil, MSc in computer science, MSc in electronics, okay, MCA. So this is a golden opportunity, huge amount of vacancies is there, 485, and we are the first channel who is going to start the live classes. We will cover all the syllabus, we will cover all the syllabus or the complete syllabus from very basic to the start. Some students asking me, okay, sir, you will start the syllabus from very basic. Yes, we will start the syllabus from very basic. Okay, so thank you for watching.
If you really like the video, please hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon for the latest updates. Thank you.